200 meters, he just jumped down.
Yep.
Then you guys can block off that entrance. She's deploying a fence, yep. I love it.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Miami Dolphins.
We have no cover.
With that,
here,
let's
though.
get down to Hard Rock Stadium.
There's somebody
in
that just popped my
Miami.
thing.
Standing by for the call. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, Coach, while much of the country is struggling under cold temps and some of that white stuff, no such troubles here at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, they coming off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games.
Fuck. Yeah. I was like, I could. The circle was coming.
Yeah. Oh well.
All right, I'm hopping off for a bit.
I'll be right back. Alright. See, oh, he's already gone.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. Leading this unit will be the big arm man out of Texas Tech. 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
Just 3 weeks of games left in the NFL regular season. What's it going to take for him to win the MVP? What's it going to take?
Whatever it is, if he wants to strengthen that candidacy, no time like the present.
Yeah, and let me tell you what I think. Not only does he have to play the clean game, no picks, things of that nature, he has to have at least one significant play that we'll talk about all next week. That'll really give him a higher profile.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Watkins, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. As we get set to watch Josh Rosen command this offense, the number 10 pick in the 2018 draft.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. On second down, it's Hines, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. Now a play fake here on first down. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And an alley to run. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. It's a big play there for Miami. Give him 42 yards on the ground. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 3 catches, 72 yards, and a touchdown.
And he now has 8 touchdowns on the season, and I just know this. He's going to be so eager to run routes in this one and try and get to the end zone at least 2 more times. 10 is a key number. Really signifies that you've had a big year.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
From the gun, it's Rosen. And he's got his tight end, Gesicki, in the end zone. Touchdown, Dolphins. Mike Gesicki, his 9th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Mahomes on the bootleg. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Christian Wilkins in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Oh, I nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Edwards now on 1st and 10. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. A look now at the Miami offense.
Yeah, I feel a little bad here because we missed out talking about these guys on the opening drive because they were in the end zone before we had a chance to even say anything. But let's keep an eye on these wideouts. QB already has 1 touchdown pass. You know he's looking for a few more before this one's over. Those wideouts will get plenty of opportunities to try and score again.
Here's Rosen to throw. He wants it all for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Quincy Wilson with the INT.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. The Chiefs with the football as we start the 2nd quarter, as they've got it 2nd down and 12. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Here a throw taken in by Watkins. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Chief linemen might have moved. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. This is complete to Watkins on a slant. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and get
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Raekwon McMillan coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Sacks a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Throwing now is Mahomes. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. This will be their 1st trip to the red zone. They've got it 1st and goal to go. They'll try to run it in, going option right. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Patrick Mahomes scoring on the keeper from 6 yards out as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. Offensively, pretty effective option play there for the score.
Certainly was, and it appeared to me that the defense overshifted and overplayed the trail back, the pitch man, and almost forgot about the quarterback. In fact, they did forget about the quarterback, and he turned it into a touchdown.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Josh Rosen and company getting set for their next possession. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-time touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now, so you're not...
Pressure comes and down goes Rosen. Frank Clark able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mike Gesicki, and it'll bring up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, exit.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. The open man is Smith. 23 yards, the final tally. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the 1st down.
On 2nd and 9, Rosen. And a little floater there is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Colin Saunders in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL.
Motion.
Here we go on 4th down with Rosen. And this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move to go for, and predictably, at least somewhat. And, partner, I'm not really sure what in the world they were thinking on 4th and long there at this stage in the game, but you think social media may be firing up a little bit right now?
Oh, the coach is trending right now. Right?
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Sammy Watkins, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs have taken the lead.
And that's exactly what you're supposed to do with good field position. You make the other side pay when you don't have far to go for the score.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again on offense. Here's Devontae Parker now. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down.
There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Nyheim Hines, his 9th touchdown of the season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out come the Chiefs now. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Mahomes will try again on 2nd down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver, and it's third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. On third down, a run from Breida. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Now it's Hines. And he's got this down to the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Well, I'm trying to think
to the
about
35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Whining about.
Rosen will throw.
That's what I'm trying to think about.
That's caught by the Notre Dame man. It's Durham Smythe.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
They're inside the 25. A Miami first down. That one going for a gain of 11. On play action, Rosen.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defense is counting. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
That's going to be caught. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 22 yards there, a first down. Again, it's Rosen. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Come on, QB, come on. SOS. Check.
Final play of the half here. It's Rosen. On the right side, open is Gesicki. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Hey, Team 6.
Now it's Rosen. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Juan Thornhill. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 20. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Completes it to Hardman. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Let's go, baby.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Taco Charlton, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Throwing on second and long. Mahomes. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now this throw caught left side. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Rosen. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. They run with Hines. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 21. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and they're going to have a 3rd down. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Christian Wilkins able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is fielded at the 27. That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a 2nd time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that 2nd score here in the 3rd quarter.
Check, crunch, crunch. Check,
And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now in Miami. All square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the 4th quarter. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Now throwing on 1st down and completing it. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. To throw is Rosen. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Rosen to throw again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down.
Kill. Pilot, 64, weak. Hey, alert.
They're going on 4th down. Rosen. And this is caught by Parker for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, his 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So the Chiefs offense heads out. There's a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Now here's Mahomes. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Christian Wilkins able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. Here's Mahomes to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Raekwon McMillan. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And now it's Rosen looking, dancing to his left. He's going to take off with it. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
The throw down the field, caught by his running back. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. Here's Rosen. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Now it's Rosen. And it's caught by Parker. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Middle.
Throwing now is Rosen. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here comes Mahomes and the Chiefs. Down by 2 touchdowns. 1:35 to go. Now a play fake here on first down. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Tyreek Hill that time, but it'll be second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. Check 3.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Taco Charlton in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. Mahomes now to throw. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
I'm trying to collect. Jim. Check 37. We go.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
44, Mike, 44. You don't want that.
And this time, Rosen will throw. It's caught. Smith. A Miami first down. That one going for a gain of 11. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
QB's up. Mike's 59. Hey, Alpha. Check it right.
And Rosen's actually going to throw him here. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Dolphins, the win will be number 11 for them on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.